Hi family, welcome to Naname's classroom this morning. If you're in our classroom this morning, just tell yourself that knowledge is power, so I shall acquire knowledge and power, and it is done. This morning, we are going to be looking at reading and viewing, but before we go through our lesson for today, I would like us to recap or recall what we were learning yesterday. Yesterday, we were looking at speaking as part of what? English language, which is a skill that you and I need to be actively involved, or we should be actively what, or we should know. Let me put it that way. Make it simpler for us. So I made mention that speaking is an active action of conveying, meaning when you are sending what information or expressing your feeling in a form of a speech, we call it what? Reading. In other aspects, some part of your body are involved when it comes to reading, especially your vocal cord can project sounds, information through your what? Through your mouth. Then you are able to bring that information out of your mouth, which will make meaningful sense. We say you are what? You are speaking. We speak in a form of giving a speech. We speak in a form of giving, having a conversation and having a dialogue between yourself and some people, or a number of people. Then also we speak through reading. You also speak through a panel of discussion. When you are a part of a panel and you are discussing, you also what? Speak. You also speak through debate, and not only that, you also speak through giving what? An opinion. This morning too, like I said, we are going to look at reading and viewing, which is part of what? The skills in English language. What is reading then? Reading is the activity or skills of looking at and comprehending. You look and you comprehend the meaning of written or printed material by interpreting the characteristics or symbols of which it is what? It is composed. So all the characteristics with this, the characters, the symbols in any written material that you are reading out, we call it what? Or you are what? You are looking at and reading it out or saying it out, we call it what? Reading. In actual sense, this material you what? You go through it. We normally use the word perusal. Where you peruse through it, we say you are what? You are reading. Not only that, we can also say simply tense means being able to what? Interpret. If you're able to interpret any written symbols and understand printed materials, we say you are what? You are reading. Then, what is viewing? Viewing means to look at or inspecting. So when you look or inspect, go through any written material, we say it is what? Viewing. Not only in written material, any written characters, symbols, everything that you are able to look at it, we say you are what? You are viewing. I would like you to know that we view first before we are able to what? We are able to read. So both of them work hand in hand. You view, information is sent across, then you'll be able to read it out of what? Of your mind. So the viewing already send information to your brain. You're able to understand it, looking at the symbol, looking at the written text. Then now you're able to project your voice. You're able to read it out, say the sound, say the voice. Your voice will now tell us or say exactly what your brain has what? Has captured. So that is how reading and viewing correspond with what? With each other. For you to be able to develop this skill as an English learner or as an English student or somebody who wants to be able to have in command of the English language itself, these are the things you have to know before you can be able to view and what? And read. The first thing that you view or read is what? A literary text. When we say literary text, we mean the novels, stories, poetry, etc. All the short story that you are going to read, all the long story, the novels, which can be fiction or non-fiction, poetry, all these things that you read are part of what? The literary text that you need to read or what? Or view. Then the other one is called the non-literary text. The non-literary text is essays, articles, news, reports. All these are part of what? The non-literary text that you have to read or you have to what? View. You do both at the same time. Another one that we read or view is called what? Digital content. So digital content is what we do, especially the social media feeds, emails, web page, diagrams, comic book, graphic element, photograph. So when you are reading this, looking at the photograph, some people even like the comic cartoon strips, they read it out. All these are part of what? Things that we are able to read or what? Or view. When reading, you need to what? Visualize. It's very, very important. There should be visualization when you are what? You are reading. You can't leave it out. What is visualization then? Visualization is a way of creating detailed mental images. Your eyes must work. When you're looking at a photograph, you're looking at a cartoon, you're looking at anything or the text, your mindset, your mind must capture what? Information, you must visualize it. Your mental brain must capture that kind of what? Information. We say you are what? Visualizing. This gives you full understanding of what you are what? You are reading. Sometimes the visuals alone gives you understanding before you even read it to make meaningful sense what, to you. So it's very, very, very important that you have or you are able to visualize before you start what? Reading, because it's part of the reading what? Skills. So this morning I would like us also to look at the tips for reading. What are the tips that can help you to read fluently, be able to view and read as a skills? Is it for examination? Is it for your own use? Is it for an assignment? Is it for a test? These are some of the tips you have to use whenever you are what? Reading and viewing. The first thing I would like us to look at is what we call a tone. What is then a tone then? It must show your general feeling, the feelings that you what? You have. That is your tone. You are reading something out. How do you feel? Are you excited? Are you sad? All this must come through, or the feelings must be shown through what the reading that you are doing. Another one is volume. When we say volume, the loudness or the softness of what? Of your voice. If the person is angry, you cannot be talking at a low tone. If the person is excited, there's joy in the person's heart. You have to check all these things. Your volume must be very, 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 how do I put it? It should be very important. Some of you come and stand, you are just calm. You just talk slowly. Your volume, whether to project it, you are not projecting your voice. You are not showing anything. So that becomes odd. You must make sure that your volume is what? Is checked. Especially your loudness and softness of what? Of your voice. The other one is the tempo. What is the tempo? We mean the speed. A tempo means the speed in which you are reading. People read so fast. Some of them, you can't hear anything. Yes, myself, I can be what? A very fast speaker. But at times, you have to take your time when you are reading for an audience so that it can make what sense. It shouldn't also mean that come and stand there and just read quite softly, making sure that you are prolonging, you are stretching the words. That will not make you a good reader. Another one is your voice projection. Project your voice well so that if people are sitting very far, they can be able to what? To hear you. So learn to project your voice or use other means and ways to help you to be able to what? To project what? Your voice so that people can hear you. Reading something without anybody hearing it is meaningless. Even you yourself become meaningless to you. Another one is your pronunciation. Your pronunciation is the way you say a word with the correct sound and what? Accent. Accent here. Pronunciation, the way you say a word with the correct sound and what? And the accent. So the correct sound must be used and the accent must be used. If you are fortunate and it's a formal reading, you are given opportunity with a test or whatever to go and practice it. It is time for you to go through these words one after the other, especially the one that you don't know how to pronounce it. Make use of a dictionary, then you'll be able to know how to pronounce the word correctly. Another one is your fluency. You have to check. What is fluency? What do we mean by fluency? You read so that the words flows easily without pausing in the wrong places. When we say fluency, people think the way you're able to read the text fast. Then you are done. No, that is not called, that is not fluency. Or so this person is fluent. No, that is not like that. It is what? How you flow easily, without stress, without worry. You take the language low down. If there needs to rise, you rise. How you tone yourself. That is what you call what? Fluency. If there's a need for you to pause, you pause. If there's no need for you to not pause, you don't pause there. So that is what we call what? Fluency. So these are the tips to follow whenever you are reading what? A text. Remember, we're looking at what? Reading and viewing. And we have found out that reading and viewing works correspondingly together. So you need to develop that skills if you want to be a good English speaker. See you again tomorrow. Bye.